Okay, good evening. Today I'm going to talk to you about Todoist, which is my favorite to-do applications, which allows me to manage my tasks in a very efficient and effective way. The application is the one with the two notifications on my iPhone right now, Todoist. It's the red application. And when I open the application, it goes to my start page. And the start page, the beauty about Todoist is the start page is completely customizable. You can customize what it looks like. Personally, I have set my my start page on my iPhone to my today's tasks, so that I always know what tasks I have today when I open it. And in a couple of minutes, I'll show you how to customize this to have a different start page. But now let's take a look at the functionality provided when you are on an actual list. By swiping left or right, you can actually complete the task or reschedule it. Swiping to the right, for example, will bring up this green correct sign. If I continue to swipe, it will mark this task as completed. I will not do that because I haven't completed this task. I'll bring them back in, but if you could actually swipe till the end, it will complete the task. Swiping to the left, on the other hand, brings up a yellow schedule option, which allows you to schedule for a different day. It has a suggested date for this task, which is tomorrow. You can schedule it for next week, or you can postpone it, you can remove a date, or you can pick time and date. For example, if I press on pick date and time, it brings up this menu, which allows me to choose which day I would like to reschedule this task to. I want to keep my task where it is, so what I will do is I'll cancel, and then I will click anywhere on this page to get out of it, and I'm back to my task, which is still scheduled for today. If you'd like to look at the rest of the application, what you do is you press on the arrow at the top left corner, which takes you out of today's view. And we're now into the actual screen, which allows you to manipulate stuff. As you can see, there are many items on the to-do lists. The first thing I'd like you to notice is that it has a section up on the top of the application, which is essentially the favorites, your favorite items, the items which you'd like to interact with quite often. The first three items are fixed: the inbox, the today item, and the next 7 days. The inbox is what it sounds like. It's an inbox which allows you to enter tasks when you don't know where you want to put them. So you enter the tasks into your inbox, and then you can go ahead later on and classify them under different projects. Then there's the today list, which is where we've been, which is my start page, which contains my remaining tasks for today. And then there's the next 7 days, which shows you the task for the upcoming week. And this is very good because it allows you to have a quick overview of what you'd like to accomplish next week, so you can plan ahead. For example, if I go into my next 7 days tasks, these are my tasks for today at the top, the tasks for tomorrow, the tasks for Sunday, and so on. You'll find that we have lots of tasks scheduled for the rest of the week. The other two items at the top are my favorite projects, or my favorite items, to be honest. One of them is a project, and second is a filter. And since I do a lot of tasks in the category referred to as general work, which I defined in my application, I put it as a favorite. And if I go into general work, it shows me that the tasks that I have to complete that are categorized into general work. And then we have I have a filter which I call people to nag, which essentially tells me the tasks that I've delegated to people. I need to remind them to complete those tasks. So that's a filter. I'll show you how to set up filters in the next video I make. But it's essentially a filter, which if I go into, shows me all of the stuff I'm waiting for. So I've delegated these tasks out, and then I need to follow up with the people to make sure that the tasks are completed in time, and therefore I have it in my favorites. Speaking of favorites, in order to make any project or any item a favorite, when you go into it, you see these three buttons at the top right. You press on that, and then you go into Edit Project, and then you see this toggle button. See this toggle button, favorite? You can put it on or off, which allows you to add a particular item into the favorites or remove it from the favorites, so it's no longer at the top of the application. So I have these two as my favorite, my general work and people to nag items. General work is a project and people to nag is a filter. Next up is the list of projects, and you have a plus sign here which allows you to enter a new project. I'm not going to enter a new project now, but if you press on that plus sign, you can go ahead and enter a new project. And essentially, projects are items which need 2 more steps to complete. I personally use a slightly different approach to projects. I have a personal list of to-do lists which I put into a personal project, and essentially it contains all of the items I need to do for my personal applications, things I have to do at home. There is obviously a slight error here. It contains too many of these tasks. These tasks are probably entered incorrectly somewhere. I can go ahead, swipe them out of the application. So this is an error. Probably while I was testing something, I incorrectly inputted this in this way. Okay. I've now removed them and they're down to just 1 item for the specific issue. Okay, and then there I have a shopping list, and my shopping list is essentially where I put stuff I'd like to buy. I like to share the shopping list with my wife so that she can enter things for me to get, and then we can both work on the same shopping list and take items off as we buy them so that we don't both buy the same items. And then there's a work project which contains many sub-items, and each of these sub-items is one of the responsibilities I'm responsible for. Movies to watch and a project list. And the project list is important. There may be an issue with how I chose to name this, because the entire section is called projects and I have a project, if you may. But the projects are the list of items that I actually need to accomplish. And these are GTD projects, getting things done projects. So they're essentially things that I need to perform more than one step in order to complete. For example, maintain the house, or get security diploma underway, or become an ABIT reviewer. These are things I'd like to do, and for each of these things to happen, I need to perform more than one step. And therefore, I put it into this list, this particular item, this particular projects list, so that I can then go ahead and look at it regularly and remember what I need to do in order to keep myself focused and go ahead and produce more tasks. And what I do is, for example, I look at the maintain house item, and then I think, okay, what is the next step I need to do to maintain my house? And if I come up with that next item, and then I go ahead and put it into my personal list, because it's a personal item, maintaining my house is a personal item. And once I've done all of the tasks that accomplish the overall project of maintaining my house, then I can go ahead and remove that project from my project list. Someday maybe is essentially the tasks which you would like to do but can't do at the moment for one reason or the other. So here I put any tasks that I'd like to do in the future but not right now. I leave them here until I'm ready to do them, then move them into my project lists so I can actually go ahead and develop next steps for them. Then there are labels, which are things you can, any task you do, any task you write into the todoist, you can give a label to. And I use labels for context. For example, I have a label called at home. Okay, so any item I label with this label, I give this label to any item in my to-do list. It means I can only do it when I'm home. So if I'm at home, I have some free time and I would like to check out what I could do, I could just press on this item and then I have a list of things that I need to do. Similarly, for example, I have a waiting for list there. It's a label, see, waiting for. And these are the items, like I mentioned before, that I've delegated out. I can press on that and get the list of the items I'm waiting for. Finally, we have the filter section, which contains filters. And filters are customized search. You can customize any filter to search your tasks in any specific order, and then you can actually see them. For example, I have a filter to see recurring tasks which occur more than one time. And if you take a look at the list, you see a small circle beside the date of each task. So for example, the first input on the drip irrigation system is scheduled for today. And if you look beside today, see 2 arrows in a circular format, and those 2 arrows indicate that this is a recurring task. Here I put any recurring task that I need to do on a regular basis. I have an active and waiting filter, which allows me to check what tasks I'm waiting for and what tasks are active. Since I'm not waiting for anything at the moment, or actually I am waiting for stuff at the moment. I'm waiting for all the things I'm waiting for. So it divides into 2 sections. The active is today's tasks, and the waiting for tasks are the things I've delegated out. And I can use that to know what I have to do and what people need to give me. So I have a complete overview of what I can expect from my coworkers and from myself at any given time. You can create custom filters, and I'll show you how to create these custom filters in a later video. Now I would like to show you how you can change your start page. So if you take a look at the top right corner, there is a gear button which you can press. That gives you access to your settings. Then you can go into the general tab, and in the general tab there's a start page. So if you click on that start page, now you can choose which of your items you'd like to be your start page, which is essentially the page you see when you open the application. I have it set to today. You can change it to anything else you want. For example, you can set it to one of your labels with Dean, for example, the Dean of the University. I'll keep it back to today, but you can have any item as your start list, and the real power comes in filters, since you can customize these filters. You can customize the search to have any subset of your tasks appear. Then you can have an absolutely customized start page that suits your workflow perfectly. There are many other features in Todoist, but I will for the moment stop here, and in a coming update, in a coming video, I will continue with the features that you can use on Todoist. If you have any questions,